Hi, welcome. This is Eating Sharp with Lynn Sharp, and on today's episode we are all about the classic Reuben sandwich. I love the classic Reuben sandwich. There are so many different ways to make a Reuben sandwich, but I love the classic way, if it's done right. So first you'll want to do is get your corned beef, put it in a deep pot and cover it with water. Put the seasoning pack that comes with it in there. Bring it to a boil, and then just turn it down so it still has a boil, but it's not a large boil, just a light boil. And you'll cook it for about 3 to 4 hours until a fork comes out from just the weight of the meat. So when you poke the fork in, pulling it up, the weight of the meat will pull off the fork. Then you'll know it's tender. Then you'll want to chill it at least 4 to 6 hours, if not overnight. That'll harden up, firm up the meat so when you slice it, it doesn't fall apart. Then you'll want to slice it across grain. And on this particular cut, it is this way. And what that will do is when it's into your sandwich, you'll be able to, it'll pull apart a lot easier. You won't have big chunks of corned beef that are chewy and pulling out of your sandwich. It'll just make a really good sandwich. So let me get the grill going on, and we'll get this sandwich going. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, we've got the grill ready to go. What I did is I brought it up to temperature, and then I backed it off just a little bit so it won't get too hot and burn the sandwich before it heats it all the way through. Now the Reuben sandwich started here in America, believe it or not. Yeah, we have some flavors from all over the world in this sandwich. We have savory, salty, sweet, bitter, and sour. So you have all of those flavors coming together to make this sandwich, and I think that's why it's so popular today. Now it started back in the 1900s. A leading actress with Charlie Chaplin went into Arnold Reuben's restaurant after a long day of filming, and she was just famished. She told Arnold, "I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. Make me a sandwich." And this is what he came up with, is the Reuben sandwich. But it really didn't get famous until about 1956 at the World Sandwich Contest, where it was noted to be one of the best sandwiches made. So let's get started. I prefer a light rye over a dark rye, or even a marbled rye on this Reuben. You'll want to butter it on both sides and just lay that down. You can hear that sizzle, just like that. And then you want to put on the Thousand Island dressing. This Thousand Island dressing is going to bring that sweetness to the sandwich. Let's go ahead and put this on. And what I have found is that the back of a spoon will help you spread that around on the sandwich better than anything else. So spread that on. Don't be afraid. This is going to be a good sandwich. Then what you want to do is put some nice Swiss cheese. Don't be stingy and buy cheap Swiss cheese. You want a good Swiss cheese, because this is going to bring it some good flavor as well. Some people like to just put one slice of cheese per sandwich. I like to fill up the sandwich with cheese. So I put an extra piece of cheese on each one, just like that. Then you want to put your corned beef on that you've already sliced up. So go ahead and lay this corned beef on here, and feel free to pile it on, because this is the meat of the sandwich. So we're going to pile this corned beef on, just like this. It's a good sandwich to serve to your friends during a football game, things like that. It's really a good sandwich. Then we want to take a decent sauerkraut. Don't go cheap on your sauerkraut either. You'll want to drain it really well, and I squeeze it because I don't like the sauerkraut to overjuice my sandwich. And you'll want to put the sauerkraut on. And you'll want just a good layer of sauerkraut. If you like more or less, you can put more or less on. That's the best thing about making your own sandwiches, is that you can make them any way you want. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a lid over this, just because I want it to heat all the way through. So we'll get this going here in just a second, and I'll show you how to bring it all together for a great Reuben sandwich. Alright, we're going to check to make sure that we got the right temperature on this grill. So let's take a look here. Looky there, it is just golden brown on both sides. You can see the cheese is starting to melt. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this sandwich together. Move that to the center of the grill and go ahead and put this lid back on it. That's going to help bring that heat come all the way through that sandwich so the middle of your sandwich isn't cold. So let's keep this going just a little bit longer and we'll have a great sandwich. I cannot wait. It has been so long living in the valley and not being able to find a classic Reuben sandwich done this way. I found other Reuben sandwiches, but they're not the classic way, and I really love the classic way. Let's flip this guy over. It'll take a few minutes. You don't want to rush it. You just want to let the sandwich heat through, crisp up. It's going to be crispy on the outside, savory, sweet, and tangy, and juicy on the inside. I cannot wait for this sandwich. And to show you I can't wait for this sandwich, I made one earlier. Here it is. I didn't pile enough meat on this one, but I just wanted to get a sandwich because I cannot wait for this one. I'm going to taste this and see how it is. That is so delicious. The bread is crunchy. You can taste the rye. Then you get into that Swiss cheese and the sweetness from the Thousand Island dressing, and then the bitterness and the tanginess of the sauerkraut and the freshness of the sauerkraut, and then that corned beef, the richness of the flavors of that corned beef. It just makes my mouth water, and I have to have another piece. So until next time, this is Lynn Sharp with Eating Sharp and Eat Well. This one's going to be a delicious one too. It is excellent. I think it's the best thing I've ever ate. Oh, look at that. Nice and crispy.